Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm going to be discussing the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot. The first episode just aired just last night, so doing this very next day, which is still pretty fresh in my mind. Excuse me. And let me tell you, this thing sucks. Right in the first 10 minutes, you know you're in trouble. Because this show, I should go back a little bit. The original Beverly Hills 90210 program aired on the Fox network from between 1990 and 2000. So that's 10 years, and it was after Married with Children. This was like the second biggest hit on the Fox television network at that time. Or should I say after Married with Children and The Simpsons. This was like the third biggest hit ever come out on the Fox network and that television network at that time. And this was a monster hit. It spawned a spin-off in Melrose Place, and then their own reboot back in the about like 10 years ago, had its own. That was my watch. The reboot back in 10 years ago, approximately about 10 years ago, which was also terrible. The original reboot. But now this is actually technically the second reboot. But the problem was this thing sucked from beginning to end. The reason why it was terrible is because first of all, Luke Perry passed away earlier this year in 2019. So he, even though he did sign on to do this reboot series, or this short-term 6-episode series, but unfortunately he passed away before he could even do it. So they did do the right thing and do a tribute to Luke during the show. Not only at the end of the episode, we're doing a scene on the actual episode itself when they had a scene on an airplane that David Silver had, and they drank a toast to Luke. Which was fine, didn't have a problem with that. But other than that one particular scene, the rest of the show was god awful bad. The problem was that, like I said, the original 90210 program ended in 2000. So instead of picking it up like 19 years later, what all the original characters are doing now, they picked it up from the point of view of them being actual actors who starred on that show. Because they used all the names, the original name, or the actual names, I should say, of all the actors who played on the show. And the premise was they all did a quote reunion show in Las Vegas, talking about the television show Beverly Hills 90210. It was like a convention / meet and greet with fans. So instead of being them as playing the actual actors, the actual characters, 19 years later, they were like a high school reunion or a college reunion, whatever. Or the smart thing we would have done was to have they have Donna and David, they have Andrea, Brandon, Brenda, and Steve Sanders and so forth come back to Beverly Hills for a funeral for Dylan McKay. To me, that would make sense, and then all of them would get together and have say what they were doing during the past 19 years. That would have been better as their characters. What Andrea has been doing for over the last 19 years, or what Steve Sanders has been doing over the last 19 years, and Kelly Taylor, and all the way down the line. That would have been better than a piece of crap and do a whole 1 hour as a tribute to Luke Perry and do maybe flashback scenes and then maybe continue on from that point on for their lives in this 6-episode series or summer series. That would have been better than what they had. Instead of playing Jenny Goff playing Jenny Goff, or Jason Priestley playing Jason Priestley, and so on down the line, which was a terrible way of doing it. I don't know who was the genius who came up, or the idiot writers who came up with that premise, but it was stupid It was idiotic. It was crap. They even had one particular scene where Jason and Jenny Garth, or Jason Priestley and Jenny Garth, actually had sex in one particular scene, and I mean, trying to reunite the Brandon and Kelly thing. I mean, come on. And then there was one particular scene where they had on display some outfits that the actors wore on that 90210, including one of the famous red dress that Tori Spelling wore. And what she did was she broke into the display case and stole the dress, and wore the dress on the airplane. And as soon as the airplane landed where they were going, all the actors, they all ended up getting arrested. So you had that bit. Then you had Jason Priestley married to a publicist, and naturally he didn't tell her that he had sex with Jenny Garth. And you also had Steve Sanders or Ian Ziering finding out that his wife was cheating on him. You had that bit. And you had Jenny Garth going through a third divorce. You had Tori Spelling with about like 9 kids. I don't think she has that many kids. I think she has about like 4 or 5 in real life. But on the show she had like 9 kids. I mean, come on. And even they had one reference where David was complaining, or the guy who played David Silver was complaining to Tori Spelling, saying, "You're damn man the show." He was complaining that the only reason why she got on is because of Dan Man on 90210, because Dan Man was to produce the show, which is true. And then of course she was complaining, "Hey, you popped my cherry. I slept with you for the first time." And of course they made reference, yeah, only on the show. Because in real life, Tori Spelling was a real slut in real life. I'm not just saying that just to be mean or mean-spirited, but that was true. So you had all this crap going on, and then you had reference to Tori Spelling and Jenny Garth crapping on Shannon Doherty, because there was a real life feud between the three of them, and that's why after 4 seasons, Shannon Doherty left the show, and she never came back for the rest of the series. Some of the other actors did eventually, but not her. She was the only one who never came back with the original series. She came back with the crappy CW reboot for a couple of episodes, but on the original 90210 show, Shannon Doherty never came back. But she did have a cameo in this film, in this episode of this particular 90210 reboot, with her saving the animals type nonsense. I mean, this whole thing was bad from beginning to end, and I didn't know how in the hell. I can understand now because I saw online that a bunch of the writers quit for this particular 90210 reboot. Quit. Gee, I wonder why. Because this was bad. I mean, I'm a fan of the original series. I still watch the reruns to this day, and because the show was that damn good back in the day. I mean, they dressed stuff on even though half the cast was over 20 at the time the show debuted back in 1990, but they dealt with issues you never saw on a show that was aimed at teenagers, like drug use, alcoholism, drunk driving, and stuff. I mean, they dealt with stuff you never really dramatic form instead of a comedy, like some other shows, like Family Ties back in the 80s. Handle some of that stuff, but not in a dramatic way, more for jokes and laughs, not so much dramatic. This show did, and to redo it like this, or to rewrite it like this, where the actors are really basically playing themselves and getting all disgusted because they're all still, typecast as being on 90210. There's one particular sequence which I should mention before I shut off this, before I end this video. Gabriel Cortez, who played Andrea Zuckerman on the show, there was this one particular sequence where they were talking to the fans at the reunion, of the Q&A between the 90210 fans and the actors. One after the Q&A, the question and answer session ended, they were on the bar, and this one particular 90210 super fan, as I call it, approached Gabriel Cortez and says, "Oh, I'm surprised with those outfits that you wore on the show, particularly all those pantsuits and stuff. I'm surprised you never had a lesbian relationship or a gay relationship on the show." And I'm a big fan of Gabrielle Cortez. I am a fan of hers because I thought she was hot when she was on the show. I still think she's hot, and she gave him such a look, and it's implied on the show, even though you never actually saw an actual scene on the show last night. When it's implied that Gabriel Cortez actually slept with this woman. I mean, come on. I mean, they're trying to make Andrea Zuckerman into a lesbian. I mean, come on. In real life, Andrea Zuckerman is married to a guy. She has at least 2 or 3 kids in real life. As a matter of fact, she was pregnant on the show. When she was pregnant in real life, she was actually, they rolled in their pregnancy onto the show. Into, I think, like the 4th into the 5th season. She was pregnant in real life at that time with her first child. And the producers of 90210 were nice enough to write that into the original storyline. But she was married in real life at the time, and she's still married. I believe she's still married to the same guy, and she's has at least, I think she's at least 2 kids in real life today. And to make her into a lesbian on this show because of the outfits she wore on the original 90210 show, I mean, that was just, I mean, I'm so sick of this liberal crap where you have to have at least one gay character, one black character, one this character, one whatever character on this show, and that's what they do in this thing. I mean, that's horrible. It's ridiculous. And I think to everybody now, don't watch the rest of the show because it's awful. It's awful. It's god awful bad. I mean, this thing is so bad, and it makes Seinfeld look good. I mean, and you know I hate Seinfeld. This thing is a piece of crap. Sorry, that's my phone. This was a piece of crap. This was, it's such a. I mean, they should have done the right thing, and it's picked up 19 years later with all the characters playing all the actors playing the actual characters and not playing themselves, and going to the funeral for Luke Perry. That's or for Dylan McKay. That's how they should have started this reboot. Not doing it like this. I mean, it's just a stupid ass way of reuniting all these actors in this thing. It is a stupid way of doing it. It's a crappy way of doing it. It's just a lazy ass way of doing this thing. It's just so lazy and so stupid the way they did this thing. They could have done there's always 2 ways of doing things of a reboot: the right way and the wrong way. They did this the wrong way. And I should mention that the 2 co-creators of this reboot happen to be Jenny Garth and Tori Spelling. I don't know how in the hell they approved this thing. They should have done it the way I said it twice already, by reuniting at Dylan McKay's funeral. That's how they should have done it. And do the whole first episode as a trip. Again, as I'm still following it. They should have done it as a reboot with a funeral for Dylan McKay, and they reunite for that. And they talk about what they were doing in the 19 years since the original show ended. So to pick up where they really left off with these characters, with Andrea Donna, with them playing these iconic characters. They haven't played for almost 20 years. That's how they should have done it. So that's my review of the Beverly Hills 90210 reboot. Please click on the video, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rallyc.com. There's OWDY, and then C.com. There's a homepage of Rally Review of Christine Moore. Please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.